Hey there, everyone. Recently, I was approached by the folks over at the Prepared Bee about doing a review on these MRE Star MREs. And this was pretty good timing because I've been thinking about doing a video comparing the different types. This is a civilian MRE where there are military MREs, a few different kinds. I wanted to review and see how the different ones taste, get them from different companies and see about the expiration dates and if they're a quality product or not. So I decided I wanted to do this review, and I told them absolutely I would. And what I want to do in this video is break this MRE down to show you what's in it. For those of you that have never had an MRE before, I want to show you how the heater works inside and also talk about the calories and then the taste. It's been a while since I've had an actual military ration, so that's why I want to do that video in the future and just compare them. I've had a few of these already, and they are pretty good, and I will probably have some in the future as well. Now, first thing before we break this down, I just did want to mention MREs, as far as preparedness is concerned, are not something that I would personally stockpile 14 cases of or anything like that. These have a 3 to 5 year shelf life. You can see on the back here, this one says March 21st of 2027. So basically 3 years from today. That all really depends on how they're stored. The temperature is the biggest factor with these. So if you get them from a warehouse, how were they stored at that warehouse? And that is the main thing when it comes to these expiration dates. So that's why I want to try a couple of different reputable websites, see how those are. Amazon, I just don't trust too much because you just don't know who they are. But as far as for preparedness, this isn't something that I would stock up 14, 15 cases of. Maybe have a couple. You can use them for camping, for hiking, for a bug out situation. It's an emergency meal. MREs are not what the military eats on a regular basis. MREs are designed as basically a Lunchable for people in the military, something that they can eat when they can't get to the mess hall or when they're out in the field, something that is going to sustain them for a little bit. MREs are only meant to, you can't eat MREs, or you're not supposed to eat MREs longer than 3 weeks straight. So keep that in mind as well. But they are pretty cool. They are self-contained. It's got the heater in here, and it is a meal that you basically don't have to do anything. All you need is a little bit of water and you are good to go. So let's go ahead and open up this MRE right here. And this, I chose the Pasta Marinara because that is the most, I suppose, universal, what everyone would like. Some of these, like the jambalaya, the chicken gumbo, to each their own, I suppose. But this one, I figured most everybody likes spaghetti. So I decided to open this one up. Now with this one, you can just rip the seal on top. It is a bit of a pain, so if you want to, you can just grab a knife like I choose to do, slice that open. And then we will dump this whole thing out. Now it doesn't say anything about calories on the outside, so I'm sure it will on the inside. So with this, spread these out real quick. You've got the crackers right here. And these are just your basic saltine crackers, although there's not very much salt on them. They taste pretty bland. Sodium, 5% of your daily value, so 125 grams of sodium. These right here are 170 calories. Then you've got the shortbread cookie right here. Just lay these out. You've got the shortbread cookie right here, and this is 300 calories. And I'm not a fan of just plain old cookies, but these it tastes like a cookie, like exactly you'd expect a cookie to taste. But 300 calories plus 170, so we're at 470 calories right here for this one meal. And then you've got the fruit snacks right here, nuts and raisins mix. And this is a different one than the one I opened earlier. The one I opened earlier was just fruits like pineapples and oranges, but they taste exactly like what you would think they would taste like. The regular dehydrated fruit, same exact thing. They're same consistency, same texture. Everything is exactly what you would expect out of these. These are 260 calories. I don't know if you can see that there, but 260 calories. So got 560, 660, 730 calories between these three things right here. And then we've got the juice mix. This is the pink lemon powder juice mix. The one I opened earlier was the strawberry. And I don't suppose the calories matter much on here, but I am curious. 90 calories in this little thing. So more than I actually expected. And then you've got the peanut butter. And the peanut butter tastes exactly like, it doesn't taste like powdered peanut butter. It tastes exactly like you would expect it to taste. I was looking at the fat and the calories and all of the different things compared to normal peanut butter, and this seems like it's a little bit more, but they are about the same. I know in military rations, the ones for the military, those are packed with calories and fats because they want to get the biggest bang for the buck in one shot. So this peanut butter right here, we're looking at 160 calories, which is actually a little bit less than I thought. So what is our total now? We're at 880 calories right there. So pretty close to 900 calories. And then you've got the main course here, which is 250 calories. So 1,130 calories total is what is in this little kit. So 1,000 calories. You know, you're looking at 2,000 calories per day is the rule of thumb everybody goes by. So this is basically one meal and you're good to go, and then maybe sit down and eat dinner. This has got 420 milligrams of sodium, 250 calories, and 6 grams of fat. So again, like I said, these are not meant to eat on a daily basis for longer than 3 weeks or alone. Only eating MREs for 3 weeks straight is not the healthiest thing. Sort of like putting bad gas in your car. It's going to work getting you from point A to point B, but the longer you do that, the worse damage you're going to do to your car. And the same thing goes with these MREs. So what I want to do is show you how this heater right here works for those of you that haven't used these before. And what you do, basically, you tear off the top of the bag here, and then you throw the MRE in here, and these little packets, the chemical reaction when you add water, and it's about 2 ounces of water that you add down here to the bottom, that chemical reaction creates heat, and that heat will heat up this MRE pouch, this pasta marinara. Now, you set that, on the directions here, it says you set that there for about 15 minutes or so, and it even shows you on here. You put the water in, you fold that flap over, and then you put it back into the box, and then you tear this second perforation right here is where you tear that off, and then you can either pull that MRE out, or you can even leave it in this pouch to help it stay warm. I tested the temperature of this MRE when it got out, when it sat in this bag for about 15 minutes, and it was up close to 160, 155 degrees is what it said. It probably would have gone up a little bit more if I left it in there a little longer too, but I wanted to test it at 15 minutes. So it does heat up really well for you. So there's no reason to, now you couldn't drink this water, so you couldn't use this for coffee because I think the chemical reaction in there and everything is just not good, but it does heat up, and these are pretty cool. I have heard some people talk about how these bags right here, some of their MREs, they don't work. I've tested about 3 or 4 of these right now, and all 4 of them have worked. But this is a pretty cool little system right here that they have where you can heat up that meal, and you don't have to have a camp stove or anything like that. Now with this, you do have these utensils and spices and stuff. You do have a coffee in here. And with a coffee, that's why I said you wouldn't want to use water in this bag for that. You would have to maybe have a little alcohol burner, maybe have something like that where you could heat this up. But if you're like me, I don't mind cold coffee one bit. Now it may not dissolve correctly without that, but I don't mind cold coffee one bit. And it's got some creamer in here. It's got a towelette right there, some sugar, and some salt and pepper packets. Oh, and some crushed red peppers, which is really nice to put on the spaghetti. Tasted really good. And then a napkin. So quite a bit of stuff in here. Like I said, over 1,000 calories for one meal. It really is that I've heard some people say they don't like the flavor much, or they say the military rations taste a little better. I really like these. This spaghetti, to me, tasted like SpaghettiOs. So it's not, Olive Garden or anything like that, but it's not bad either. I also tested one of the Mexican stew meals, and it gave off a little bit of a weird smell, but it tasted just fine. And the whole meal was good. The peanut butter's great. You can put this peanut butter on the cracker. I put it here on the cookie because I just don't like plain cookies. But it's the crackers, I think, could use the peanut butter a little bit more than the cookie would. But with the peanut butter on the crackers, they actually taste pretty good. But it's a good meal, and they are good to, if you've never tried one, I suggest get a couple, try them out. They're kind of fun. They are convenient, whether you're going camping, if it's an emergency situation, whatever there's a lot of different uses for it. Their shelf life is kind of low, though, when you're talking about from a long-term food storage perspective. So it's not something that you would want to get 15 or 18 cases of, like I said in the beginning, because you have to use those in 3 or 4 years or so. If you do use them quite a bit, then, maybe, plan accordingly. But for the average person, I just don't know how fatigued you would get eating even just one MRE every week. I think at some point it would get pretty old and pretty bland. But they are cool to have for camping, for hiking, for emergency preparedness reasons, for a lot of different reasons, and even just having them on hand. It's a quick, ready-to-eat, easy meal. If you have any comments or any suggestions, anything I didn't get into in this video, make sure and leave a comment below. I will leave the link over to the Prepared Bee website. On the box here, it even says when it was manufactured, which is pretty cool. This was manufactured, this box was put together just a few weeks before I received it here. So it's nice and fresh, and everything worked perfectly in them. So pretty pleased with this. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a video in the future of testing out a few different types and seeing how they are. If you have any ideas, any comments, anything like that, any brands that you want me to try out, test out, let me know in the comments below. But with that, I am done here today. Look for that video in the near future, everyone. And until next time, take care and prepare. We will talk to you all later.